And we're live.
All right.
Okay, so Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Tell you a little bit about myself. Any more direction than that, or should I just go with it?
Go with it.
All right, cool. Hi, my name's Mike. I'm a teacher here at Sora on the middle school campus. I do humanities mostly. I used to do more STEM, and then they said, if you want to keep doing STEM, you have to teach math. And I said, I don't know how to do that. So now I teach humanities. What else about me? I have a partner and a daughter who are awesome and I love. I don't know if that's important or pertinent, but it's there. I love art and animals and hiking and Legos and space and geography. I just got a new cat. His name's Duncan. He's awesome. He's a chunkster. He's real paunchy guy. Yeah. Oh, I love teaching. Teaching's awesome. Teaching's great. Teaching's one of my favorite things. Love being in rooms with you all, getting to hear your amazing thoughts. I think a lot of people think that when they become a teacher, they're done learning, but I think, teaching is an opportunity to learn even more from all you brilliant young folks. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm Mike.
That's awesome. That's why we all love you so much. First question. How long have you been teaching and where have you taught?
I have been teaching for, I would say, oh God, now I'm going to make me feel old. I've been teaching for about a decade. And I coached before that, which is like teaching sports, I suppose. I don't know if you would. I feel like I built a lot of those skills, or transferred a lot of those skills into teaching. But yeah, I've taught here at Sora this is my third year, and before that, I was in an out of school or after school setting. So I was in Chicagoland, right outside of Chicago, in a city called Evanston, working for the Y and also for partnered with the school district and then the university that was there. It was called Northwestern University, and we did after school programming for Evanston youth in the area, and that was in a STEM lab, which is pretty cool. So we were teaching all kinds of skills. I got really into woodworking there, but then how do you using woodworking and using sound and music making to teach other things like science and math and stuff like that. So I did that for a while, I think 7 years, and then I came here, and it's been awesome.
So if you've been teaching here for 3 years, and I've been here for 3 years, my first class here was with you.
Then was that the first cycle? Because then that would have been my first class as well.
It was the first cycle. Egypt.
Was it Egypt? Yeah. Yeah, that was the first class I taught here, and I was very nervous to do it. Did I do an okay job?
You did great.
Oh, cool. Great. You did awesome, too. No, that was a really fun class. I liked that a lot. And I took a lot of that, kind of the concepts that were there, and you might see them now in Create Your Own Civilization, because, I don't know, if we're learning about civilizations, especially ancient civilizations, we got to learn about Egypt. There's a lot of good ripe stuff in there. But yeah, I missed, oh man, one of my favorite things we did in that class was doing the mummification on a little stuffed animal. I think that was probably one of my favorite things I've done at Sora. See if I can work that into something again. That was pretty cool.
That was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, I guess we started at the same time, I guess.
Yeah. What sport did you teach? Because you said you were coaching sports. What sport?
Yeah, I coached swimming. I coached swimming for over a decade. It was right out of high school. I started coaching and then kept coaching through, almost until I started work here. Because I was coaching at the Y also. But yeah, swimming. Coached swimming for a long time.
That's awesome. Was it fun coaching swimming, or is that
Yeah, I love it. It's something I might eventually get back into, but I'm just too busy. Hard to have a full-time job and a 5-year-old. it's a lot to balance. But no, I would love to start coaching again. But I feel like I get a lot of the same rewarding things from teaching. Like it's really about like the most rewarding thing about coaching is seeing growth in the swimmers or whomever you're coaching, and I get to see that every day with y'all. It just looks different.
Yeah. It's just a little bit different.
Just a little bit different.
Little more learning.
Yeah. Working your brain out instead of your body.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're doing both. I don't know. I don't know what class. We should do that. Just do a. You play sports too, right?
I play club soccer for a club called Rush. I'm pretty sure they're worldwide. So cool. I play for their U14 team.
Alright, so you're wearing a kit right now. Is that a jersey?
No, this is actually a different kit from Colorado, from an actual professional men's team called the Switchbacks.
Nice.
So those games are super fun.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Have you ever played soccer?
I played intramural soccer in undergrad. I was horrible, but it was fun. I'm not very good at running, and that's turns out like most of soccer. So yeah.
Yeah, soccer is a lot of running.
Yeah, no, it was fun, but I'm horrible at it.
How did you find out about Sora?
How did I find out about? I found out about Sora, by just research. So I was working in my master's in education and looking for places to teach, and I needed just because of where my life was headed and what my partner was doing, something that was flexible, that could be remote. Probably the same reason a lot of y'all are looking for Sora. And then after that, I was looking for schools that had overlap with sort of my thoughts on education and pedagogy and how students should be learning, and the most ripe environments for that. And Sora came up, and I applied, and I got the job, and it's been cool ever since. It's actually been, a lot of it's been like, and I don't know how students feel about this, but I feel like it sort of makes a lot of promises that you're like, surely not, right? Surely that can't be true. And I feel like in working here for 3 years now, like a lot of that, as a teacher, from the teacher standpoint, has been the case, has been true. I think there's a lot of freedom and flexibility for teachers to teach how we want. I think you could probably notice that, and that my expeditions look very different than someone else's because we have a lot of freedom to teach in the ways that we think are good and successful, which has been, you don't see that in a lot of schools. So that's been awesome. That wasn't any part of your question, but that was
helpful. That was awesome. That was a great answer.
Cool.
Is it easier to teach at Sora than at an in-person school? Like,
I would say yes and no. For me personally, so something that I think this might come from like a background in coaching. There's something about being present, like physically present with people, that really like ticks not the right word, but snaps.
Yeah. Clicks
is the word I was looking for. It really clicks with me. And I think that's just how I was trained to like think about how you teach and how you like, it's very physical, which is why you'll know I do a lot of like this kind of stuff when I'm teaching, like try to make it as engaging physically as I can on a screen. So I'd say that was an adjustment, but I would say there's a lot that is easier, and that's really in again back in the flexibility to teach in ways that I know work for me and that I think will work for you all. Which is you don't see as much in in-person schools, or at least a lot of in-person schools, public schools and things like that are very much bound and tied to things like standards, and rubrics and things that they just like testing, right? There's a lot of things that they have to overlap with, challenges and benchmarks that they have to meet. That which is not to say we're not striving to reach high heights at Sora, right? We're just thinking about it differently. I think more creatively and more flexibly. So I'd say yes and no. It's been an adjustment getting to figure out how to make this screen kind of thing work. But I think we're getting there. I think it's feeling pretty personal at this point, and engaged.
I feel like
trying to make it as engaging as possible.
That's for sure. Like once you come to Sora, and you get to know like at least 3 people or anyone in your house. It just feels so easy.
Yeah, and that's been one of the more surprising things about working here was how successful we've been at like building spaces to be social. It was something I was worried about, frankly, in coming to work here. Is like because that's I like to be personable. I like to have relationships, you know, with folks that I'm teaching. And I was like a little just from having worked digitally during COVID, right, which was not ideal, and I think we hadn't figured out a lot of stuff during that time. I was a little skeptical, but I think like that's one of the more impressive things, and I think that's mostly thanks to to y'all, to the students, for being willing to like be engaged and make a like a social atmosphere possible. So good job, Reese.
Are there any other like important things to know about coming to Sora other than those?
About coming to Sora, in many things, or as in many things, it is what you make of it. You get out what you put into it. It is a digital space, so it's easy to recede into the background. But if you're willing to push yourself to be active and vocal and engaged and social, right? I think that there's a lot to get out of it. I think we got a lot of cool kids here. Like y'all are impress me consistently, daily, with remarkable feats in a number of different areas, right? How kind you all are, how respectful you all can be of each other, how welcoming and I don't know. Also, the whole academic realm, right? The cool, amazing projects that y'all are making, the way that you think about things, the connections that you make. You're all very impressive. So the more that you're willing to dive into things, I think the more you get out. I guess would be the only thing that I'd say is important to remember, which is like like things we have to remind ourselves of daily. Like I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna be engaged today. But no, I think it's a very cool place. Yeah, I think that is important to remember because it's easy. It's like I've had days where I'm like, I have like a little counter on my phone, like it counts your steps, and it's like, I think you're dead. Like you walked like 10 steps today, dude. And I'm like, man, yeah, I think it's important to remember to get out and that there's space built into the day and the structure to do that, which is pretty cool too. I don't think like in a in-person school you can just like, I'm gonna go out for a walk now. Like you're like legally not allowed. They can't let you do that. Like they just like can't let you like just go out for a walk. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's not all that. And I think it'd be cool, something we could think about. And I think people like May are doing this. So like, how can we have expeditions that are actually like built into that is like exploring and going out and doing stuff.
I'm actually in a class like that right now. The Where You Stand class, like that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to one of the French Gothic churches to learn about the 1700s, the early 1700s, like native connections.
That's awesome. Conflicts. Is that with Brett?
Brett is one of the teachers, but I'm with Catherine.
Oh, yeah, Catherine. Catherine's awesome too. Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's like one of those like I see what's happening in those classes. Like I want to take that class. No, that's really cool. Yeah, and I think that the more we can do that and structure, like encourage you all to go out, be engaged with the community, and then bring that community back into our space. I feel like and we're moving towards that. I think we're seeing more and more of that, which is really cool and exciting.
That's for sure. From 6th grade to now, I've been in it's increasingly got more active with going out of my house and actually doing something. Like with, not the Yellowstone class, but the first year here, the National Parks class. One of the classes, I literally sat outside with my chickens the entire class.
It's amazing. It's perfect. Yeah. And I think we're intentionally, like we're trying to build, or I, at least in like the way I'm structuring my classes, it's something that's on my mind. It's like, how can we get out into the communities and then bring the communities back into the class in cool, fun, and meaningful ways? Or even just like your local community, like your home. Like how can we bring you and your activities and your family and like bring that in cool, fun, meaningful ways?
That's for sure. off of the school topic, because we've been talking
Yes.
about that for a while now. Do you read comics?
Do I read comics? Reese, you know. Yes, I read comics. I love comics. I've been reading comics since I could read. Before I could read, actually. It's actually one of the things that got me into reading was comics. I have dyslexia, so it was really hard for me. I didn't learn to read until after most of my peers was. It's something I struggled with, and comics actually got me better at reading. Just the way that it pairs imagery with words, right? It made it easier for me to start kind of like parsing through and understand. It gives you context to learn how. I think comics are amazing. I read comics all the time.
Yeah. What's your favorite comic?
Ooh, like of all time or currently running?
Let's do both.
Okay, of all time, my favorite. Man, that's hard. No, I can't do that question. Okay, for comic, my favorite comic that I'm currently reading, DC is current. And I don't usually read DC, or I'm more of, like you hear this. I don't know. Comic nerds will get into this. Usually, people are more in the camp of Marvel or more in the camp of DC, and I usually trend towards Marvel. But DC has had an amazing run. It's called its Absolute series, so it's like a reimagining of a lot of the heroes that we know very well, and within that there's one called Martian Manhunter, Absolute Martian Manhunter, that is one of the weirdest and coolest books that I've read in a while. I don't know that I can, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm not sure what like the rating on them is. They might be a little mature for audiences, so this is not my endorsement or telling anyone that they should read anything before they check with their parents, but those are really cool ones. Those are the ones that I'm reading right now. Like, favorite all-time comic? No, can't do it. There's too many. I like a lot of them.
You've read so many great comics, it's impossible
It's
to
true,
name
honestly.
one.
Like, some of the ones that pop into my head immediately are one's called Usagi Yojimbo, which is about a rabbit samurai. It's really cool. That one I read when I was younger, so that one sticks in my head. From DC, Kingdom Come is really good. It's about like once all the heroes get old, and then like there's a new generation that's coming through. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. Those will be my two for right now, but they're not. I don't think that those are my favorite. Those are the ones that popped in my head first.
Those are just some good ones that you've read.
Those are some good ones. If I'm going to recommend some, those are two good ones to start on.
Yeah. But out of the classes that you've taught at Sora so far, and all the changes with the schedules, which class has been your favorite to teach?
That's another hard one, man. I really liked this round of Civilization Lab, which is a class where we learn about cradle civilizations and geography in ways in which allow students to try to create their own civilization, and they can do that in a number of different ways. Legos, make a model, do something on Minecraft, which is what a lot of people chose because it was an option and everyone loves Minecraft. But I love that one because it combined a lot of elements from other classes that I really enjoyed. So one that I really enjoyed from the past was it was called Pokemon Go, and it was like understanding Japanese culture through Pokemon. And then the Egyptian class I really loved. I taught one on Rome, and this was kind of like a combination of all those ones. So for that reason, I feel like that might be my favorite.
Yeah, I was actually in that class with you.
Yeah, I'm explaining it out loud, and as I was doing it, I was like, you know all about this, but maybe the audience doesn't. Maybe the audience would like to know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Did you enjoy that class?
That class was awesome. I wish I got into the actual building of the project earlier and wrote a better script. There were a lot of things I could have done that I saw that I was just, I kind of like.
Learning experience. We all know that, and now I know from that I could introduce that earlier and get everyone to make sure everyone's building earlier. It's not a bad.
I actually got one of my friends into there to check out it and give me some feedback on it.
Yeah.
And it was like the day before it was due, so it was like a really bad time for me to show him that because I couldn't really change anything at that point. But he just said add some walls around the camp.
There you go.
But
that's doable.
It was but it would have taken 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's true.
Because
I
the
forget.
walls.
Yeah, you're just like. Yeah.
You can't copy and paste in Minecraft.
I know, it's crazy. Well, I can't. I feel like you could if you know how to code it or do. I don't know.
They did add a thing in Minecraft where you can copy and paste. I tried to do that with that class, but
didn't work.
I did not have enough time to figure it out.
Yeah, that's over my head. I barely can like move around in Minecraft. So.
Now, I think everyone at Sora probably knows this, unless they're new. What music do you listen to?
Ooh, I listen to all kinds of music. I've been recently on a kick of listening to what I listened to in college, which was like indie rock. But I also am huge into rap. I really like rap. I've been on a kick of blues recently, just because I got inspired by a movie that I watched. But yeah, a spectrum of music. I would say the ones I listen to the most, though, are probably rap, and then like indie rock.
Those are both pretty good genres of music.
I like them.
I think I listen to more indie rock than rap. Because I've listened to just about every genre of music, ranging from my dad's style to my mom's to Taylor Swift, which is you hate her or you love her. It's not really an in-between there.
It does seem like, there's very strong opinions going on either end of the spectrum. I'm kind of in the middle. I think she has some songs that are total bops and some that I'm like, eh. My daughter likes her, so I end up listening to her quite a bit. I know what I've been listening. I've been really so K-pop Demon Hunter came out, as you know, over the summer. My daughter watched it and then just loves the music for it. So her and I have both been going on a big K-pop kick, which has been very enjoyable. So K-pop has recently entered my musical lexicon, which I like it a lot. I've been really into it.
Those songs are pretty good.
Blackpink has been my go-to group.
I've never heard of Blackpink.
It's another one where I feel like now that I'm saying it out loud, might come with an explicit content warning, so definitely check out with your parents' permission. But yeah, that's been on my current playlist.
Yeah. I feel like K-pop, that you can't really hate it, but yeah, you got it's in the middle, and you'll listen to it sometimes, or you'll just always listen to it.
They make really catchy songs, man.
They really do.
They're super, and they're also like, so I love hip hop and rap, right? And they're pulling from a lot of that culture too, in some fun and enjoyable ways.
That's for sure. Did you hear that they're actually making a live action K-pop Demon Hunters?
What? I did not. That's pretty crazy. I
forgot.
want a sequel. Make a sequel.
Yeah, a sequel would be awesome.
Yeah. I want to hear about her mom, right? She, like, fell in love with the demon. What was that all about? That seems like a ripe story to explore.
You can't really skip out on that. Like, you left a cliffhanger, such a large cliffhanger on the end of that movie.
I want to know.
That upsets me. I watched that like 4 times.
Me too.
Such a good movie.
Solid. Holds up every time. That and Frozen 2. It's solid flicks. Can watch those over and over. I know those because I've watched them over and over again with my daughter. Those are the 2 though that I'm like, this is good. I can watch this one again. I'm not mad about it.
I like Turbo, the really fast snail.
I've never watched Turbo. That's about the snail that can go really fast, right?
It's actually a really good movie.
All right, I'll throw it. Is there any scary parts? Because that's.
I think it's kind of like Cars, the first movie of Cars.
Oh, okay.
It's like that, but with a snail.
Oh, with a snail. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm into it. All right, we'll throw that on the to watch list.
Oh yeah. And then anime. I forgot if you actually watched a lot of anime, but I'm pretty sure you do.
Watch a lot of anime. Yes, absolutely. Haven't been watching much lately. Are you just at, what are my favorite animes?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed One Punch Man. I thought that was amazing. My Hero Academia, the first 2 seasons, I really enjoyed. Now this is going to be controversial perhaps, but I really love the live action adaptation of One Piece. I think it's amazing, and I think that they take something that is like 3,000 episodes now and start condensing it to make it more manageable. Cowboy Bebop is one of the most amazing animes of all time. That also incorporates jazz. That's another one that might be too explicit content warning. Check out with your parents first. But it incorporates jazz music in really quite amazing ways. These are animes. All of Studio Ghibli, all bangers, all hits. Within that, Spirited Away, I think is one of my favorite, not just anime or movies, but movies of all time. Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke, two incredible films.
I've never seen those, but I've seen most of like the first Naruto seasons.
Oh, Naruto's also good. Naruto had way too many fillers in the anime. But if you kind of skip those, some of the fillers were pretty good. But no, Naruto is one I watched all the way through, which was that's a feat. Like Naruto Shippuden is like, that's a big chunk. You gotta invest in that for a while. But no, Naruto's great. Oh, I also grew up watching Pokemon and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which are still my favorites. Got a sweet spot for those.
That's
the original. Dragon Ball, the original, is one of my favorite. Also, mangas of all time. Solid manga.
I definitely grew up with a whole lot of Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah.
I think I've watched like 4 different series of them.
Which is crazy, because there is, I don't know if you know this, Reese, a pretty significant age gap between us. So the fact that we both grew up watching Pokemon is pretty cool. Speaks to the longevity of that franchise. It's kind of like Ninja Turtles. They're still cranking out Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles I grew up on. They're still cranking out new Ninja Turtles, and some of them are pretty good. Yeah. I really like the most recent. What's it called? Like the Mutant Mayhem, that movie that came out. Solid flick.
I haven't watched a lot of Ninja Turtles currently, but I definitely grew up with more older stuff that my mom grew up with.
Okay,
but
yeah,
I don't.
Nice.
I think Bubble Guppies. That was like
Bubble Guppies.
I don't know if that's like an anime, but I definitely grew up with that.
Bubble Guppies is my niece. I watched it with her for the first time, and it's like, what are we watching? But then I was like, oh, this is pretty entertaining. I enjoy this.
What was the kid's name with the orange hair, the orange bubbly hair?
You would know better than me. I don't know.
It's been forever since I've watched that, but he always got like all the crazy lunches.
Gotta do some research, dig it up.
That's for sure. In Sora,
yeah.
Have you set any records?
In Sora, have I set any records? I didn't know we had any records. I'm going to now. That sounds like a challenge. Yeah, that's now my new mission. I'm going to set some records in Sora.
Most quotes in the quote book.
I'm going to start a scoreboard somewhere, too, that lives somewhere, and then I'll just make a bunch of weird records and put them up there and see if anyone can break them.
And then just, like, all the teachers competing for first place.
And I'm going to make them weird challenges. What's a weird challenge that we could do? Like a hot dog eating contest?
Oh,
I could win that.
Hot dog eating contest, push-up contest. Get a little bit active.
I could not win. I already know, looking at the other experts, that I would not be... It'd be an easy record to break if I put like 3. Like, can someone do more than 3 push-ups?
I think.
But I'll start it. I'll start the board. Yeah, push-up contest. Eating. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that.
I think Keaton could like. I feel like he looks like he could do so many push-ups.
Keaton would wreck me. Alvester for sure could definitely put me under in some push-up contests. But I think hot dog eating contest I might have a good shot at.
Yeah, hot dog eating contest.
More my genre.
Most animes watched.
Well, I think Keaton might have that one. I'll find ones. I'm just gonna look for ones that I know that I can win, and then those are the ones that I put up there.
Oh yeah. Let's rig the game.
Yeah. Why not?
Make it a little hard for everyone else.
Yeah.
Make it fun, enjoyable, and a little hard.
Have you set any records at Sora, Reese?
At Sora? I don't think so.
What about in your lifting club?
My lifting club? I think I've done the longest plank.
Ooh.
And it was 1 minute and 30 seconds.
That's far longer than I could hold a plank.
I feel like I could do it for 20 seconds if I didn't do like 100 squats before.
Alright. We'll do a plank contest too.
Oh yeah. Plank contest. I feel like a squat contest would be.
Squat contest.
Those squats will get you after a few
Yes.
squats.
Yeah, after literally a few squats for me is when they start to get me.
Oh yeah. But that's really all my questions. So
Cool. This has been fun.
it really has been. I think this is going to be one of the funnest interviews I will do for Sora Soundwaves.
Cool. Well, thanks for inviting me to this. It's been awesome chatting with you.
It has been. It really has been.
Cool.
Really good time filler.
Yeah.
Super fun. Everything.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll see ya.
Yeah.
Maybe next cycle.
Hope fingers crossed, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Fingers,
Take it
toes,
easy.
thumbs,
Thumbs, all of it. Yeah.
every single thing.
All right. Thanks, Reese.
Yeah. Have a good day. See ya.
Look how sweaty I am. Jeez. All right. See ya.
See ya.